He viciously murdered 2 women and brutally assaulted another. Yet when he went on trial, the internet couldn't stop talking about his looks.
I'm sure you've been seeing him all over your For You page. Wade Wilson, the Deadpool killer.
The case against Wade Wilson exploded into an online obsession and is now the focus of Law & Crime's newest docuseries streaming now. But of course, we got the inside scoop with the series director.
At one point, one of the women he killed, they couldn't find her body, and he said, "Well, I'll tell you if you give me a cheeseburger."
This is Inside the Crime, presented by Law & Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. There's a reason that Law & Crime is the go-to spot for true crime content, just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm. They have more than 1,000 attorneys and have recovered $25 billion from more than 500,000 clients. In the past few months alone, a client in Florida received $12 million when insurance offered just $350,000. And in Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million, 40 times the insurer's offer. Morgan & Morgan makes it so easy to fight for what you deserve. You can even start a claim from your phone. So if you're injured, you can start a claim at forthepeople.com/insidethecrime. Click the link below or scan the QR code on your screen. Now, despite the hate tattoos and Joker-style face tattoos, and despite 2 murder convictions, Wade Wilson continues to receive a lot of attention from women, even as he's now on death row. But how did we get here? To understand that fixation, we have to rewind past the headlines, past the tattoos, and into the choices that led him here. He was born on May 20th, 1994. His birth name was Anthony Testacika, but soon after he was adopted, his adopted mother began calling him Wade, and the name stuck. A good chunk of his life has been spent in and out of prison. Online records show he's been convicted of burglary, grand theft, felony possession of a weapon. He had a number of accusations of domestic violence, and he's admitted to using a number of hard drugs. It's the crimes he committed in 2019, though, that made him a notorious killer. But still, not everyone saw him as this monster. There were a lot of women, and some men too, that were completely enamored by Wade Wilson. And that's explored in Paramount Plus's newest docuseries by Law & Crime Productions titled Handsome Devil, Charming Killer.
A lot of ladies think he's attractive.
Very nice, very well spoken.
This is what I do with women, you know. I use my charm, use my good looks.
I fell very much in love with Wade.
He's the ultimate bad boy.
I almost thought I could fix him.
To understand how we got here, let's rewind to October 7th of 2019. It's then we meet a woman named Mila Montanez, who was in a relationship with Wade Wilson. And on that Monday morning, he brutally attacked her.
911, what is your emergency?
Hey, yes, we have an incident here in the parking lot. And I'm trying to remember what our address is. Is that Benson and Associates?
Do you need police there, or you need the fire department or an ambulance, ma'am?
Well, there's a man grabbing a woman in front of our parking lot.
So there's a fight going on?
It's like near to Joe's Crab Shack.
Okay, ma'am. So is that a fight that's going on?
Well, it looks like it. There's a man grabbing a woman, and one of the cars just ran into one of our employees' cars.
Police arrived shortly after to find Mila, as blood was dripping from her face.
What's his name?
Wade Wilson. He just got out of jail.
Come on, South, do one.
You know his birthday?
5/20/94. You can cancel for your traffic crash.
Wade Stephen Wilson.
What floor are you at, area?
Wade Stephen, 5/20/94.
Alpha 1, copy. I'll be en route to ambulance.
Police noted Mila had multiple injuries, a road rash on her elbows and arms, scraped knees, busted lips, cut elbows. She told police Wade threatened to kill her, and she was in fear of her safety. Not too far away from this scene, another officer finds Wade shirtless and behind the wheel of a car that didn't belong to him.
How you doing? What's going on, man? You're waiting on your girlfriend? Oh, okay. That's no problem. No, I got a call. Somebody was sitting in their car and everything like that.
Oh,
so.
No. We own Mila's spot. She's coming.
Oh, okay. She's on her way now?
Yeah, we own Mila's spot right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We were going to go to Jersey.
Okay. L41 to bike 5. ETA? Copy, I'm 1012. I'll explain to you when my partner gets here, okay? Hmm? About this morning. Hmm? Hmm? Say again? Yeah, I can do that, but I'm just waiting for my partner to get here. Yeah, absolutely. And here's what's going to happen. Is the car running? Shut the car off for me. It's off? I'm going to detain you until I figure out what exactly is going on.
I'm just waiting on my girlfriend, sir. I told you. I don't want to be harassed.
Wait, you don't want any trouble from me because you're on probation, okay? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to have you step out of the car, and I'm going to detain you. Not arrest. Detain you right now, okay? And I can't have any problems. You understand me? All right. What's that? Bike 5, I'm at Joe's Crab Shack in the parking lot. I will. I give you my word. No. I have to detain you. By our procedures, I have to detain you. Hmm? Because of the battery this morning. There wasn't any battery? Okay. Hmm? I will. No. Just relax. Let me see the keys to the car. Let me see the keys to the car. Keys. Keys. Wait, we're not going to have any problems. Just give me the keys to the car. Wade.
Sir, I didn't do anything. Look at me.
Either Joe.
All right. Please. Just wait till my partner gets here. L41, gonna need a couple more units. Don't go anywhere. Hey.
Alpha 88.
According to the series, we learned that officers didn't engage in a high-speed chase with Wade because of department policy. And what we also learn is by the time this interaction happened with police, Wade had already killed a woman and was on his way to kill another. Enter Christine Melton, one of Wade Wilson's victims. On October 6th of 2019, Christine and her best friend Stephanie went to a Fort Myers bar called Buddha Live. That's where the two women met Wade Wilson. After enjoying a night out, they all went back to Christine's place. Stephanie would later testify in court she left Christine's because she had to return home to her son, but she never believed something terrible would happen to her. That night, Wade strangled Christine to death in Christine's home and then just left her body there. After the murder, he stole her car and her phone. So when he met up with Mila on the 7th, prosecutors say Wade called Mila from Christine's phone. Then the attack on Mila happened. Shortly after, he drove off when the officer questioned him, and then he encountered another woman, and her name was Diane Ruiz. 43-year-old Diane Ruiz was on her way to work on October 7th when she met Wade Wilson. He lured her into Christine's car by claiming he needed directions to a nearby school. Diane in her final moments must have sensed something was wrong because officials say she tried to get out of the car, and when she tried to do that, Wade attacked her too. The details are tough to hear. He attacked her and beat her viciously, then strangled her before pushing her out of the car. But he didn't stop there. He then ran her over multiple times. When Diane didn't show up to work, her co-workers called police, who immediately issued a missing persons alert. By 8 p.m. that night, a witness contacted Cape Coral PD who said Wade confessed to stabbing someone, so police needed to find him. He was found the very next day after he broke into a local home.
You're Wade Stephen Williamson, right? Wilson? I'm sorry.
Wilson.
520 and 94?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm Detective Bell. Okay, we've met briefly.
Kind of good to meet you.
Not really, I'm sure.
Not that great, actually.
Yeah.
But you're not that bad. Nice to meet you.
All right, you're at the police station. You're in handcuffs, right? You're in an interview room, so I gotta read your Miranda rights. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. And if you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand each of these rights that I've explained to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any idea why you're here?
Nope. Just got picked up and brought here.
Okay, all right. With these rights
You
in
tell
mind.
me.
All right, so you want to talk about what's going on here tonight?
Not necessarily. I was just seeing what I'm here with.
You just want to know why you're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a good start.
All right. Whose house were you in?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. How did you get in the house?
Just through the back. It was open.
Okay.
Just walked right in.
All right. So you didn't have permission to be in that home?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
I don't know who owns that house.
All right.
Just a place to be.
All right.
You know?
How is it that you came to be in that home tonight?
I don't know. You know, what am I here for? How about you give me something and I'll give you something? Tell me what I'm here for. Tell me what you're thinking. Am I charged for something? Are you questioning me for something?
Well, there was a disturbance between...
This would be a good start. You know?
Right. There's a disturbance
Sure.
between you and your girlfriend today, right? This morning.
Are you saying right or are you telling me?
I'm asking
you. gotta
you.
phrase this in the right way now.
Well, I'm
yeah,
asking
if you're telling me that's the one I'm here for, then I'm going with what you're telling me. But I'm not answering these type of questions. I'm just curious why I'm here.
Okay, so Fort Myers Police Department says that you had a disturbance with your girlfriend today. And an officer made contact with you outside of Joe's Crab Shack. And that encounter didn't go very well and you left.
He's a jerk.
Okay.
He wasn't very nice. He need to train better.
Okay.
Maybe people stick around.
All right. So there was a little, I don't know exactly what went on between the two of you, but you two met and you left.
Yeah.
Okay. And you left in a black Honda that did not belong to you.
Yeah, he made me leave.
He made you leave?
Mm-hmm.
He told you to leave? Or?
He was going to tase me.
Oh, well, that make me leave.
He was just being real triggered.
By this point, Diane's case was considered a missing persons, but police suspected possible foul play. Then the dots started connecting more. These cases were connected, and the suspect behind them was Wade Wilson. Diane Ruiz's family pleaded for her safe return, but as the hours turned into days of no word from her, they just wanted to know what happened and where she is. Then her body was found on October 11th. As officials confirmed, it was Diane Ruiz. Wade denied he had anything to do with two murders. In the docu-series, his ex-girlfriend Mila admitted to talking with Wade in jail even after what he did to her.
How are you?
Yeah, goddamn.
I know. Yeah, I know, Mila. I know, baby. I know. I f***ed up badly. The worst.
This is not a f*** up, babe. This is not a f*** up.
No, this is more than a f*** up. This is more than a f*** up, okay? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I put you in this position. I'm sorry that you have people trying to talk to you. You know. Hey, listen.
I'm not sorry about any of this. You killed two people. Why are you not remorseful at all about this?
I am. Why do you think I told them that I did?
They had the son. That could have been my son saying, I want my mom to walk through the
Yeah, but Mila, it never would be you. You got to understand what I'm telling you. And we got to get over this. We're going to be talking a little bit, at least. I never was going to kill you, ever.
Could have been saying, I'm waiting for mom. This guy, this little boy on the news says, I'm waiting for my mom to walk through the front door. You did that to his mother.
Yeah.
But Mila wasn't the only person he confessed his crimes to. He also made a confession to his biological father, Steve Testasiga.
Did they come talk to you last night?
They did, and apparently they had already got the body at like 1 o'clock. They just wanted to come talk to me so they could. So I would admit to it.
Yeah, and when I walked out of visitation, my wife, she was in the truck, and she found that she had gotten an alert of a news story. They said they had found her at like 1:30, and they didn't announce it, I guess, until 6 o'clock or whatever. But they still haven't come out and identified her.
Oh, really? They haven't?
They said that they couldn't identify her. They needed the medical examiner to do it.
You're kidding me? Holy. Yeah.
Was it that bad, son?
It was that bad, Dad. I mean, I ran over her with a car 100 times, I mean, it was, that's the part that made it bad right there. It wasn't bad until that happened, and then it got bad. Yeah.
Listen, I know the calls are recorded and all that, but I was sitting here working and I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's really bothering me, but this is what I just don't understand. Like, why to that extreme? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to make it to that extreme, son?
I don't know.
What are you angry with, dude? What are you angry about? You know what I'm saying? What are you angry about? Especially with women. Like, what are you angry at women for?
I don't know. I'm not sure, man.
No, either, dude.
I need to figure it out. I do.
You do need to figure it out.
I know.
But, you know, I just don't... Did you stab that first girl?
Did I stab her? No.
You choked her?
Yeah, just choked her, yeah. That's it.
Even after those recorded confessions, for some Wade Wilson supporters, they still believed he was innocent, and that's where we meet Alexis Williams. Alexis, who was interviewed for the docuseries, was one of Wade's girlfriends. The two met after Wade was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and she stayed with him as the state of Florida sought the death penalty against him.
Okay, the state's attorney, they brought me the paperwork today to seek the death penalty. They brought me, like, 2 pieces of paper.
Are you serious?
Swear? Look, it says, notice of intent to seek death penalty. And then it tells why, or whatever. So, yeah, serious.
Alexis continued to support Wade even during his trial. She was inside that courtroom and even offered to bring him clothes and makeup to cover up the massive amount of tattoos he sported on his face. From 2019 to 2024, Wade Wilson underwent a huge transformation. In a 2019 mugshot, he donned various neck tattoos, as well as a tattoo under his chin in bold capital letters as it read "Bread for War." Then during a court appearance in 2019, he appeared with a shaved head and a large swastika tattoo on the right side of his head. In a 2023 mugshot, Wade grew his hair out, which covered the swastika tattooed on his head, but then he got a smaller swastika tattooed under his right eye. And most notably, a Joker-like smile was tattooed with the stitches extending past his mouth. And this was the look that Wade planned to sport during his criminal trial. He went on trial in June of 2024, 5 years after the murders of Christine and Diane. When prosecutors called the medical examiner to testify, Dr. Thomas Coyne laid out every shocking detail in front of the jury.
And what, if anything, did you note were of any concern to you?
Sure. I mean, well, certainly, just looking externally, you can see that she had a large number of bruises on her body, on her face, a swollen eye, contusions around the eye, contusions around the mouth. She had bruising all over her torso, all over her arms. So it was suggested that she had blunt trauma. And being a young person, you always wonder if whether or not that could be, the cause of a person's death. And so, similar to the injuries we describe here, when Noelle did the internal examination, you can see that there was a significant amount of hemorrhaging on both sides of the neck, within both, skeletal muscles of the neck. She also had bruising in her scalp, all over her scalp, as well as within the subscalp muscles. So again, showing significant blunt force trauma. Okay. Also, if I can continue, what was notable about this case was when she did the internal examination, she also saw that there was contusions of her internal organs as well. So forces that were directed to the outside of the body also went inward. And so she had bruising or contusions of the lungs. She had a contusion of the liver. She also had contusions on the back of her bladder, as well as contusions to her colon, indicating that there was a significant force to the abdomen as well.
What injuries did you note, if any, on the external examination of Miss Diana Ruiz?
Sure. Most notably, so she was in the stages of putrefactive decomposition. So her tissues were being decomposed and degrading. She had some evidence of animal or scavenging activity on her body as well. And so portions of her ears and nose were removed already, most likely by avian scavengers. But I could see externally, first and foremost, that she had fracturing of the nasal bone. She also had a laceration underneath her left breast. She also had bruising or hemorrhaging in the skin on both sides of the left and right sides of the body.
Was that the extent of the external injuries that you observed? On
the most significant external. There was, of course, a lot of significant internal injuries.
And did you document all of these by way of
I apologize. She also had, what I didn't talk about, was bruising on the back of her left forearm, bruising on the back of her left hand. I can also see that she had a fracture of the fourth finger, the proximal part of the fourth finger, and she also had some bruising on her right arm as well.
Alexis Williams admitted during the docuseries the trial became a huge turning point for her. For years, she believed in Wade's innocence. But again, she wasn't the only one who thought he was innocent. A lot of women turned to social media apps like TikTok to express their thoughts on Wade Wilson. But the story was slowly turning from a focus on what he did to Christine and Diane and turned into a feeding frenzy, as some posted about his looks, his stature, things that had nothing to do with the case. But a jury saw right past the facade.
Count 1, first-degree murder, Christine Melton. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Count 2, grand theft motor vehicle. The defendant is guilty of grand theft motor vehicle. Count 3, battery. The defendant is guilty of battery. Count 4, first-degree murder, Diane Ruiz. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Count 5, burglary of dwelling. The defendant is guilty of burglary of a dwelling. Count 6, first-degree petty theft. The defendant is guilty of first-degree petty theft. Dated 6/12/24, so say we all, 4-person.
Because Wade was facing capital punishment, the next phase of the trial moved to the punishment phase. Now, this is where the defense kind of has the burden. They want to persuade a jury that he shouldn't be put on death row. But here's the thing. Wade Wilson's case came after the state of Florida changed their death penalty laws, meaning the jury didn't have to be unanimous. The state just needed 8 jurors to be in favor of it. So the jury heard from both the prosecution and defense, forensic psychologists and psychiatrists, but also loved ones of Christine and Diane.
Christine Melton was my best friend and my cousin until October 7th, 2019. It is my task to describe this beautiful human and to somehow capture Christine in a way that 12 strangers and 2 alternates can understand, using only my words. And I will do so sitting no more than 20 feet from the convicted, who beat Christine, murdered Christine, and threw her away like garbage. I hope you will understand this is not the ideal scenario to be sharing personal stories, although you would have loved them. There are no words to describe the absolutely lovely Christine Ann Melton, but I will try. She was precious, not just to me, to everyone who knew her. She was a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a niece, and a cousin. She was loved, and her life had value. Christine was remarkably funny, had a quick wit, and an entirely unique personality. If you were with her, you laughed. We laughed every single day. When you were with her, you felt safe and understood, never judged. She was a relief to your soul just to sit next to her. She had a way about her. Children loved her because Christine was good and they could feel it. She wasn't an aunt. She was the aunt. Christine was the godmother of my son, and it was her greatest honor and one that she deserved. Our children miss her in ways I could never articulate, and it is gut-wrenching to see them so destroyed. They were robbed of her. Christine will never experience motherhood, a role she was born to play. Christine was strong, brave, independent, and loyal. She was the friend you wished you had. She was the friend who got more fired up about your problems than you did. She was fiercely protective and always on your side, even if you were wrong. Christine loved traveling and exploring the world. She would buy plane tickets and figure out the rest later. She loved camping and concerts and Halloween and a themed party of any kind and celebrating life and accomplishments. Christine adored her mother and loved being with her. They were 2 peas in a pod. They were the same and different in all the most beautiful ways. They lived less than 1 block apart in 2019 when this occurred. Every relationship or friendship she had was special because she was part of it. She was a cheerleader to us all. She loved us unconditionally, completely, and with her entire being until October 7th, 2019. Christine's mother has not been at this trial. Once Christine was murdered, she was never the same. How could she be?
I was forced to move states to better accommodate for what I needed for my education. I moved far away from Florida because I grew up everywhere with my mom just to have her be stripped away on a random weekday. I tried my best to avoid going back. She was really excited for my future because she knew I was going to achieve big things, and I refused to disappoint her, even in death, because it helps me push on every day. I would like to share some achievements I've been able to accomplish. I did 3 years of marching band. We achieved superiors in the Blue Ribbon all throughout high school. My senior year, I achieved my high school's most principal award. Sophomore year, I won my first scholarship based off of my art portfolio. I graduated high school. I got accepted into all the colleges I applied and also received a full ride scholarship from one. My senior year, I received the John Phillips User Award for marching band. I got my driver's license. I received my first car. During COVID, I ran a whole jewelry business for 2 years at 16. I got my first job. I'm getting my first apartment July. I'm a year ahead in my college education, and I have my first internship as a graphic designer. I only listed 13 out of many, both big and small, achievements. All 13 of these achievements my mom didn't get the chance to see me accomplish. My mother will never get the chance to see me get married, get to see me graduate college as a first generation graduate, get to see me get my first real job. During college, I was sent to the ER for the first time. I got into my first car accident, and the only person I wanted to call was my mom, or how she went missing. I trusted my gut so much. Everything told me that she was coming home, and I haven't been able to trust her again. Or how when I was told she was missing while walking home from my bus stop, or how everybody in my town knew that she was dead before me, or how on my 15th birthday I almost killed myself because I couldn't bear the idea without turning 15 without my mom. I lived 5 years without her, and not a single day has gone by where I haven't been able to not think about her. My mother only had love in her heart, only wanted the best for me, and nothing that happened to her was ever deserved, and she just wanted to live a normal life.
For Alexis Williams, it was Zane Romero's testimony that really opened her eyes to who Wade Wilson really was. When the jury came back with their recommendation, it was a tense moment in the courtroom. Would Wade Wilson be put to death for his crimes, or is it life in prison?
As to count 1, first-degree murder, Christine Milton, we, the jury, find by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death. As to count 4, first-degree murder, Diane Ruiz, we, the jury, find by a vote of 10-2 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death. Dated this 25th day of June, 2024, in Lee County, Florida, 4-person, 234.
For Christine and Diane's families, his death sentence marked the end of a painful chapter, but the grief still remained. Meanwhile, Wade continued to have a cult-like following even as he made his way to death row. He still made headlines even behind bars. He sued the Lee County Sheriff's Office and State Attorney's Office after his recorded jail calls were released. He later dropped that suit. He allegedly tried to smuggle out an autographed handmade drawing with instructions to auction it off to the highest bidder. But does he still have the same effect on the so-called Wade wives even to this day? Well, you have to check it out on the latest docuseries to find out more. Well, legendary journalist Brian Ross joins us now on Inside the Crime, and Brian served as a producer and director on the series along with Rhonda Schwartz. Brian, as this docuseries points out, there's been this fascination with Wade Wilson, especially among women, even though he's been convicted of these brutal murders of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. But in your opinion, why has this case been so captivating? Is it the looks? Is it his physical monster-like transformation? What do you think it is?
Well, for us, it began after we saw the coverage on Law and Crime, with thousands of people, really hundreds of thousands, following the case. And then we learned that it had become a social media sensation as you say, with all these women somehow claiming they were falling in love with Wade Wilson. Now, he admitted to the cops when he confessed that he has long used his good looks and his charms to seduce women. And he also said what overcomes him is a rage. And he talks about murder, murder, murder. So all of that came together. We wanted to know more, just like you're saying, about why these women fell for him. What was it that led them to think this man was somebody they could fix or they could be part of? Some of these women wanted to have his babies. They wanted to get married to him. And they all thought they were the only ones. And at one point, the prosecutors during the trial revealed there were many women. This outraged a lot of his followers who thought they had been cheated on by Wade Wilson.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see it all unfold because, to your point, as he was saying, like things like murder, 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 and kill, 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 and how he was just not himself, as he says, while he was high on drugs. And that's what kind of led him to do these very shocking, very brutal things to these women. But as you were learning things while putting together this docuseries, what was the most shocking thing you found as the story was kind of unfolding right in front of you?
I think the ease with which he carried out these crimes didn't seem to bother him, and then he just freely admitted what he had done to his biological father, to his girlfriend, who he also tried to kill, and to police. And it didn't bother him. At one point, one of the women he killed, they couldn't find her body, and he said, "Well, I'll tell you if you give me a cheeseburger."
Wow. Wow. When I heard those words out of his mouth as he was kind of saying it in jest too, I was just like, wow. Just like, I feel like words can't even put it together how I was feeling seeing that. So I can only imagine when you were putting this together. And do you see this case as part of a larger pattern in social media, transforming criminals into these culture-like figures, kind of similar to the Luigi Mangione case too? But what do you think makes this case so different, or in some aspects more alarming?
Well, in a way, the brutality of his crimes and the pain that he caused to the families of the victims and to the community, really, in Florida, where all this took place. To me, you juxtapose that and the adoration he's getting from his fans. It doesn't make sense. What are people thinking? And it's a commentary on our times, I'm sad to say.
Yeah, especially if you get on TikTok and you see these slow motion moving videos of Wade Wilson. He's sitting down at the defense table. He's smiling. It's all to this music that's supposed to draw the viewer's attention. But it's like, again, the point here is that this man's on trial because he brutally killed two women and really hurt another one too. And, you know, Brian, all these interviews were very captivating because we can see allegations on paper. We can see a trial unfold in front of our eyes. But to hear from people who were a part of this outside of kind of those different areas. Again, all these interviews being very captivating, but who stood out to you the most?
Well, I think probably Alexis Williams, who was one of the early Wade wives who fell for him, went out and spent her own money to buy suits for him to wear in court, and then and actually was planning to marry him, had actually put together real plans for it. And then as she sat in the court and heard the testimony, particularly that of the teenage son of his victim, Diane Ruiz, she suddenly realized that she too had been conned and scammed by this man, and she turned on him. And the journey that she went through and her decision to talk with us candidly about all of that was really remarkable. I think she did it because she wanted others to know, what's out there, what to be careful about.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't easy for her to kind of tell her story too in front of cameras, but I'm glad she did. And what was the most difficult scene to include in this docu-series, and what made it so necessary to put in the series?
Well, some of the details of the crime are really, really awful. And one of the things that Rhonda and I really worked hard to do was to do nothing that would anyway glorify Wade Wilson. I mean, he's a cold-blooded killer, heartless, shameless, and we did want to show the phenomenon that you described so well, the social media attraction to him. So that was important to us. And I guess in the end, we wanted to honor the victims, and this will be hard for them. The families will be hard for them to watch, but if they do, I hope they know we did it with an intent to show just how awful and evil he is.
Because as much as people want to talk about Wade Wilson, I think people forget there's Christine Melton, there's also Diane Ruiz, and there's Mila too. And the series did give us an inside look into the dynamic between Wade and his biological father, kind of seeing those jail costs, seeing their dynamic. For someone who's being confronted with these really awful things, when he was talking with his biological dad, he really, in a way, at least while I was watching it, he kind of softened up a little bit. But what other parts of Wade Wilson kind of stood out to you, and did you get the same feeling too?
Well, I certainly did about his biological father, Steve Testacecca, who, made the courageous decision, because when Wade, after he killed, was on the run from police, he called Steve and said, "Help me, Dad." And his father made the decision to cooperate with police and tell them where his son was, because he didn't want his son shot dead when he was being surrounded, or they tried to apprehend him. But that was a tough call for him. He's somebody who had his own run-ins with the law himself and appreciated what it was. But his description of the heartbreak and the anguish he felt to see his own son become this heartless killer. And he talks to him, as you see in our report, in the jailhouse interviews, which are on video, about his anguish about it. It truly is heartbreaking. And his testimony at trial to damn his own son, was necessary and important for him. And it was not easy, I'm sure.
And what do you ultimately hope viewers question about themselves or even society as they're watching this series?
Yeah, let's not fall head over heels in love with evil men like this. Keep in mind the victims, keep in mind the nature of the crime. Of course, everyone is presumed innocent until found guilty at trial, but the facts of this case and his confession, I think, show pretty clearly who he really is, and he's a cold-blooded killer.
Absolutely. Brian Ross, so I hope our viewers are excited to see this series as I was watching this series unfold. Thank you so much for your time and your insight into this. I really appreciate it.
Great being here. Thank you.
Online records show Wade Wilson is currently housed at the Union Correctional Institution in Florida. Be sure to stream Handsome Devil, Charming Killer. All 3 episodes are out now on Paramount+. But thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner.